Spokane native and astronaut Anne McClain has been in the International Space Station for just over 6 months. She returns to Earth today. A boxing gym in Spokane Valley is making a difference with unique classes. Lime scooters have been around Spokane for about a month now, but rules on their usage in downtown Spokane are still being taught and enforced. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Rowley. Well, we've had a little bit of a clear sky today, but a little cooler in the morning. Evan, how are we looking at weather?
Right now, things are shaping up all right. We're going to be warming up as we head towards the next couple of hours. Going to be making it likely to the 70-degree range as the afternoon comes around. We're looking at that to happen just past the noon hour. Mainly partly cloudy skies are going to be the case for the majority of the northwest today. But as we take a look outside, you can see that we have cloudy skies right now, and there are going to be a few residual showers that are going to make their way toward us as we head towards the afternoon. Now, mainly where we see these showers popping up is just around the international border. So overall, the majority of showers are holding off up toward areas like Bonners Ferry, Kettle Falls, pushing off into western Montana. As we head toward the afternoon, expect mostly dry skies pretty much everywhere south of near the international border. So only about the northern third of Washington going to be seeing any of those showers. Now, what we are picking up on is by the time your Monday ends, we stay dry through most of your Tuesday, and then Wednesday we start to see some showers pop up, even late Tuesday night really. So here's 5 p.m. West side of the state is going to start picking up on some of those thunderstorms, and then just around our area you can see how this orange and yellow pops up just moving toward North Idaho by late Tuesday night into about 10 p.m. Same situation early Wednesday morning. There is a good chance that some of these showers are going to bring some thunderstorm activity, meaning the possibility of a little bit of hail along the way as well. So coming up in just a bit, we'll take a little bit of a closer look at what we're seeing on this future tracker and talk about what's in store as we head towards Hoop Fest. Amanda?
All right, sounds good, Evan. Well, here's what you need to know before heading out the door. Tensions continue to escalate between the U.S. and Iran following last week's downing of an American drone. The White House has prepared a new round of economic sanctions for Iran. President Trump says they could be imposed as soon as today. However, the president says he's willing to hold talks with the Iranians and without any preconditions. And the deadly plane crash that killed 11 people in Hawaii on Friday has a California connection. A team of 11 from across the country will investigate over the next 3 to 4 days. That's how long it will take to move the wreckage to a secure location. The same plane was involved in a 2016 accident in California. The pilot lost control and there was damage to the tail section. Repairs were made, but investigators are looking at whether or not the repairs were enough and if the plane was airworthy. And the death toll at the 7-story building that collapsed in Cambodia Saturday has risen to 24. So far, no survivors have been found at the Chinese-owned construction site. The collapse happened before dawn, with many workers asleep inside. This is the worst building collapse of its kind in Cambodia in recent years. It's now raised questions over the rate and sustainability of construction. 4 people have been arrested over the collapse, including the Chinese building owner, the head of construction firm, and the contractor. The much anticipated Toy Story 4 took an estimated $118 million in ticket sales in its debut last weekend, making it the 4th highest animated film opening ever, not accounting for inflation. Still, its debut fell about $20 million short of Disney's expectations. After putting together a historic performance in Group F play, the U.S. women's national team will return to the site of its first match of the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. But this time they face Spain in a round of 16 today for the start of the knockout stages. It will be the second meeting between the two countries in women's soccer. The first was in January with a 1-0 U.S. victory. Over its 3 first-round games in the World Cup, the USA set a record for most goals scored in group play with 18 and greatest goal difference while shutting out all 3 opponents. Time now 5:04. Spokane native and astronaut Anne McClain arrived at the International Space Station just more than 6 months ago. Today, she'll return home. We're just as excited for her to return as she is. She will have spent about 200 days on the International Space Station. KREM 2's Shayna Waltower has more on how she's preparing for her return to Earth.
By Monday, McLean will have spent about 200 days on the International Space Station. From her tweets, she said that her time on the station has been rewarding and that she'd become well adjusted to living outside of Earth. She has been reminiscing on some of the incredible tasks that she's done since being in space. From spacewalks to robotic research, she's done a lot. Leading up to their return to Earth, she and the rest of the station crew have been packing up supplies, looking into medical tests, doing maintenance on the station, making sure their spacesuits don't have any leaks, checking the hardware on the station's robots, and continuing their workout routines. They also unloaded the SpaceX Dragon as it arrived with more supplies. It was the spacecraft's final mission before much of the crew's descent. McLean has also been taking in her surroundings, sharing these views of places like Sweden and Chile. As she flew over France, she watched the Women's World Cup, cheering on the U.S. team. It's really amazing how the human mind and body can adapt to new environments, she said. How the once incredible can become so normal. I encourage all humans to do something out of your comfort zone that forces you to adapt. You'll be pleasantly surprised of your capabilities.
And that was Shayna Welltower reporting. Now, with her days coming to an end on the International Space Station, McLean tweeted photos of her view from the ISS on her last night there. She mentioned these were taken over Africa.
We will continue working here on board the SS, and we are ready to start working like Expedition 60.
With Anne McLean and her fellow astronauts coming home, there was an International Space Station change of command ceremony on Sunday. The ceremony started with the current crew wishing the new crew all the best, and the current commander handed over his command. Looking forward to that safe return. Now, looking ahead, the Idaho nurse who reached a plea agreement in Kelsey Barrett's murder is set to appear in court this morning. This is video here from February when Crystal Kenny pled guilty to one count of tampering with physical evidence. Kenny allegedly helped Barrett's fiance, Patrick Frazee, clean up evidence after he brutally murdered Barrett with a baseball bat. As part of her plea deal, Kenny agreed to testify against Frazee. He has been charged with first-degree murder and solicitation to commit first-degree murder. In May, Frazee pleaded not guilty to the charges. He remains in custody without bond, and his trial is set to start at the end of October. 5:07 now. Sunday, we came and went without any sign of the nationwide raids aimed at catching and deporting migrants in the U.S. illegally. President Trump says he agreed to postpone the operation at the request of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. However, the president warned that Congress has 2 weeks to come up with a political solution to border control. The operation had been delayed because of major concerns about officer safety after details of the sweep leaked to the media. During the next 2 weeks, Trump says he will look to compromise with Democratic leaders on immigration issues. It is argued the raids will distract and drain resources from real public safety threats. Malou Chavez of the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project worries the threat of raids have already impacted the community with heightened fear. She says that causes more problems.
We understand that there's already fear in communities. Lower cooperation with law enforcement may happen. We may see victims of crimes choosing not to report a crime. We may see people not going to school, sending their kids to school, or potentially not going to work.
ICE officials said it's not about creating fear, but upholding the rule of law. Time now, 5:08. Spokane is about to host the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Hoop Fest is returning to the city. And if you're still confused about rules surrounding the Lime scooters in downtown Spokane, look no further. There will be a class to get you all caught up.